don't get married just because you feel like you should. Always get married because you know that it's ordained by Christ.
Yes.
It's going to take a certain level of man to be able to lead such intense, incredible women of God.
Yes.
And so that's my prayer for this generation of men, that they understand who they are in Christ.
Yep.
Because when they tap into that, they are completely unstoppable.
You are doing me a favor by putting a ring on my finger. You are doing me a favor when you get all the benefits of it.
Yeah.
Actually, when you're married, who benefits more?
Oh, 100% the man.
So I'm grateful to that relationship, but for where I'm going, he just couldn't come. And when you're a godly woman and you've got an assignment on your life, you can't just settle for anybody. It's one thing that we're not taught in Christianity, because if you put yourself first, you're a selfish woman.
Yeah, you're never going to get married. You're selfish. You're going to regret this for the rest of your lives, and you're going to die alone. Like,
listen, everybody dies alone. Listen, everybody dies alone. Okay? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing, sing the word of peace.
We are just working on the wealthy part.
Yeah, no, we are wealthy in Jesus' name.
Please go.
It's a profession of faith.
Yes, amen.
So I called off my engagement in April.
Yeah.
And you called off your engagement in
April.
There was something in the air.
Twinsies.
There was something in the air. But the only difference between me and you is that no one knew who he was. No one saw his face. I didn't post about him.
Mm-hmm.
And not because I didn't want to, he didn't want me to post. Which, looking back now, is like, it's a red flag. But also it's a blessing, because no one knows who he is, apart from his friends and family. How did it feel for you? Because you posted pretty much all your journey.
Mm-hmm.
How did it feel for you to end your engagement? Did you feel embarrassed at all? Shame? Because I guess your followers were looking for a happy ending.
Yeah.
Like, how did that feel?
I mean, I just remember like watching other people and their engagements, and you would be scrolling on your For You page, and it's all these like different women sitting in their car and be like, I never thought I'd have to post this, and I'm like, oh, that'll never be me. And then it was me, and I was like, so I don't think it was necessarily like, I didn't feel embarrassed. I think it was just more of like a shell shock of like, oh my gosh, I've seen these posts before. I've seen people having to explain themselves, and people calling themselves embarrassed or calling themselves stupid or whatever. And I never felt that way because I knew it was the right decision. But I mean, in the beginning, I did not. One of my boundaries was I didn't post his face until we got engaged.
Yeah.
So I just post like the back of his head, his hands, things like that. And that's definitely something I would do again. Anything more.
No regrets.
So, no regrets.
I'll do it again.
No regrets for valuing some privacy in that way.
Yeah.
But I do think that, I don't think I'm going to show my husband's face until we're actually married. I think that's the only thing I'd ever change. Yeah.
Yeah. And was there any part of you like, oh, I have to make this work because I've shared it at all?
In the back of your head, I think, you're like, I'm an influencer. We've already gotten this far. Everything. The wedding date is set. I think
one thing that's different between us, I didn't have a wedding date set. I hadn't booked or paid for anything, which is a blessing in a sense. But you were that far, and I feel like it's a lot. What advice do you have for anyone that is like has paid a deposit? I've heard like people all my family's all booked their tickets to our wedding destination. There's so much money involved. I can't call off the engagement. Like, what advice would you say to those people?
I would say that I've literally watched women go through getting married with these same type of thoughts, and it is never, ever, ever. Your singleness is priceless, but the expense of being in a marriage that you're unhappy and unconfident in is catastrophic. Yeah, it's literally catastrophic.
It's way more expensive.
Oh, yes.
Way more expensive to live or get married and live unhappy or whatever way than to actually lose the money that you invested into the wedding.
Yeah. Invest in yourself and invest in your freedom and your
first.
happiness. Yes. It's the whole time I kept telling people it literally feels like I'm in between a rock and a hard place. And I've heard that saying before, but that's literally how I felt. I was like, I feel stuck and I cannot move. And the leap to get out was probably the bravest thing that I've ever done in my life and the scariest, most unpredictable thing I've ever done. But don't get married just because you feel like you should. Always get married because you know that it's ordained by Christ.
Yes.
Anything else outside of that, you will be paying for, whether it's emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and it's too much. It's too much of an ask.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, they say it's better to have a broken engagement than a broken marriage. That is like facts. And I'm so glad for even the married women, the women that did get married, that have even been commenting on my videos, probably your videos as well, that say that they wish that they had listened to that voice in their heart, in their head, their spirit that said, do not marry this person, because it would have saved them a lot. And I think the grace, I feel like we're an example of grace. Like, this is God's mercy that he allowed us to see what we see now and not later. I actually thank God, and I call this like like God delivered me from that relationship. And likewise, because, and also the other person, he gets to marry who he's supposed to be with, and we get to marry who we're supposed to be with. Do you know what I mean? You mentioned that you didn't have peace about going ahead. What does that look like? What is not having peace? Because I think sometimes we as Christians talking language like, I didn't feel peace in that. I didn't feel peace in that. And it was like, what does that mean? Christianese. What was that? What did that feel like?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I need a man who has an ongoing daily relationship with Christ. Someone who is fully submitted and runs to the feet of God when times get hard, when he's happy, like through all things.
Love Jesus. Yes, Jesus. Like, so we love.
Yeah, like I'm like, be more in love with Jesus than with me. Be romantic with Christ the way that you want to romance me. Like, I need to witness that and see that so that I can trust it. And if I don't see that, then this conversation of submission.
I'm not submitting.
No, I can't.
I can't. I can't. How can you submit to someone that's not submitted to Christ? And then I'm trying to submit to Christ, and you're submitting. You're not even submit. I won't even say you're submitting to me, because a man's not going to submit to a woman. Period. Right. So if you're not submitted, a woman can only submit to a man that's submitted to Christ.
Right.
So then only then would she feel safe enough to submit. But if you're submitting to Christ and he's not submitting to anyone, and he's supposed to be the head, right? He's supposed to be the leader. Then where do we go?
Yeah. And I'm like, I in my own life, I already play a very masculine role because I have to, because of, previous traumas. I'm an independent woman. And so I'm like, I want that part of me to be able to easily fall by the wayside.
You just want to rest.
Yes. And I'm like, I can't rest if I don't have a man who doesn't have an active, daily, trustworthy relationship with God.
Yeah.
And so for me, that was the biggest point of me losing peace. And I also think having a man with vision, like, you don't have to have everything set out before you.
Yep.
But like, again, just with submission, what am I submitting to? What is the plan? Where are we headed? Yeah, where are we going? And if you don't know, like, again, man doesn't have to be, have the full roadmap. But if you don't have any idea, then like that also for me is just scary.
Scary. It's so scary for us as women to then say that we are submitting, but submitting to what? I'm following you, but where are we going?
Yeah. Submitting to what?
And that's what creates fear in women, and that's what causes division, because I know the Lord, and I know God's plan for my life. But I've said this about 3 times in my videos. A woman gives her life twice. A godly woman gives her life twice. Once to Christ and second to her husband. And if your husband is not a covering, but is a lid, you can only go as far as he is going. So his relationship with God, if it's capped, your relationship as his wife, because the two become one, is going to be capped. No matter how much you try to run ahead. Because if you do manage to run ahead, we grew apart. Because we're not running in the same direction. We need men that are running in the exact same direction. Because even men that are Christian and that say that they have a relationship with God, some of them just don't have vision. They don't have like ambition. And ambition is not ungodly. Ambition is very godly. All the men in the Bible, they had a vision from God, they had a word from God, they knew where they were going. But like almost like 9 years difference, yeah. However, even at that age, at your age, I knew where I was going. Men my age, 34, 35, 36, 37, you need to know where you're going. You need to know what the plan is, because if you don't know where you're going, you can't tell me.
Yeah.
You can't tell me. And for me, it was like, sell me a dream. I know you're happy and I know you're content where you are, but I'm not. And I think sometimes women, especially Christian women, we can feel like, oh, well, I'm asking too much. I'm being too ambitious. I'm being too worldly. Or because I want a guy that wants to make money, I'm a gold digger, or I'm shallow, or I'm superficial. And I think sometimes we can talk ourselves out of what we desire, because I believe it's a heart's desire to want a man that is ambitious and financially stable, because love doesn't pay the bills. And money is the number one, not one of the top 3 reasons for divorce. Money.
Yeah.
But in Christianity, we are taught that, you know, as long as he loves God.
As long as he loves God. As long as he goes to church.
As long as he goes to church. And that's the thing, like there's so many things that we are not taught in church, and it's almost like just marry anybody.
Marry the first person that likes you back.
That's it. Marry the first person that likes you and shows interest and is intentional. This is what I just put out a video today and said, just because a man's intentional about you doesn't mean he's intentionally right for you.
Never.
Because isn't that like what we're taught, like get a man that's intentional about you? And especially if you dated someone that wasn't intentional, you start to think that, well, the guy's pursuing me. Maybe I'm being too picky. Maybe I'm asking for too much.
Please, gosh, please have your standards very, very, very high. Even there's been so many times in my life where I'm like, is this even attainable for a man? Like and then I'm
asking too much.
Yeah, then me and all my girlfriends have the same standards. I'm like, so we're all competing against each other for that. but truly, like another thing I wanted to add too is like this pride and ego that unfortunately seems to be rooted in men in this era. I don't really know what's going on and what's happening, but a godly man will pursue you for a little while. And then you start to see that some of these men have really, really weird, unresolved emotional issues. I'm like, and I'm seeing that between me and my girls, that type of behavior is coming out more and more. And so that's another thing to just be very vigilant about. Ask the deep questions about his character, about his day-to-day behaviors and things like that. Notice how he treats people. And when you guys get into an argument,
how does he treat you?
Yes.
How does he treat you? Because this is a thing that I'm noticing more and more and more and more and more. Men, doesn't matter if they're Christian or not, are inherently selfish. They will always put themselves first. But men of God are called to love their wife. Love. I don't think men love these days. Not with the full extent that they're supposed to, because I think they're afraid. I think there's so much fear. And one of my favorite scriptures, 1 John 4:19 says, there's no fear in love, but for perfect love cast out fear. A man cannot be afraid and say that he loves you. Because there's no fear in love. He can't be a coward. Like even King David in the Bible, he was courageous. He listened to God. He took action. But don't you think a lot of women in our generation are so courageous? We start businesses, We start social media. We make money. Like we just go for it. We don't have fear. We do not have fear. But there's so many men that are held back by this lack, and I think it is a mentality, a Christian mentality.
I think a lot of Christian men struggle with way more insecurity than
way
than
more
than
way
we think
more
and that they think.
Yeah.
And I think a man who can acknowledge that, and then when a man of God acknowledges that, he has two choices. You either deal with it with pride and ego, or you deal with it with humility. And so that's the type of man that I want at the end of the day, is a man that will love me loudly, love God loudly. And if he makes a mistake, if he, if nobody's perfect.
No one's perfect.
Nobody is perfect.
However, how do you react when you are corrected?
Yes.
How do you react when you're challenged? Because if you can't take accountability, that is the biggest red flag ever. Because do you know what taking accountability is? Actually repentance. Because even when we look back in the garden, Adam and Eve, when they ate the fruit, if they just went to God and repented, we probably would not be in a situation. But no, when accountability was called forth, the man blamed the woman. The woman blamed the snake. But if you are able to acknowledge your wrong, go to God and say, God, I was wrong, I repent, you're going to be able to do that in your relationship. But a lot of men carry so much shame that to say that they were wrong completely dismantles their identity. And especially if they already feel like they're beneath their woman, if they feel that she's so this and so that, she's so ambitious. And because we are, as women, we are so ambitious, we are so driven, we are so let's go and get it, like we only get one life. A lot of men are intimidated by that. So to further admit that they're not enough is like a death blow to their masculinity. And it shouldn't be like that. And Christian women are told to be humble, but men are not told to be humble. And they need to be humble, because if you're not humble, you can't repent. If you're not humble, you can't take accountability, because you feel like your whole person is going to crumble because she was right. She was always right.
And a lot of Christian women, I don't know what it is, the Spirit of God, the fruit of the Spirit, but like a lot of women, we have the ability to speak into men and speak into men's lives and be so powerful. And like when a man of God has a woman like that, again, it's almost like we're at that big age where it's like that man has one of two choices: love her correctly with humility. I think that women of God are extremely powerful when speaking into men's lives. And that's why these godly relationships are so vital, and who you choose is so important. And when a man of God finds a woman that is trustworthy, that is good, that is everything that he's hoping and praying for, he has to treat her with such high regard. And I think that breaking off this engagement has really taught me that the choice is my own. It's also my life too. It's not just his life, it's mine. And I have the choice of, if I'm talking to a man and I'm trying to call him higher, call him out, saying like, you need accountability. And if he doesn't treat that with like respect and with a swiftness, then I don't know. Then I'm like, okay, I have more options. I have other options. And that's something that women of God are not taught. Where, like you were saying, you're taught, okay, you get married when you're 20, start popping out babies at 21, and that's your life. And it doesn't matter how the guy treats you.
Make it work.
If he makes money and you have
got a job,
then be happy. And I'm like, I want more for myself. And I'm like, I'm not going to settle for anything less than what I actually want. And I need and deserve.
Did you ever get shamed into being too picky? Like you were talking about, he's a good man, like that should be good enough. And I know that when I ended my engagement, people said, well, if he's a good man, then why did you end it? And a person can be good but not good for you and not good to you. And that was my thing. I know you was with a good man, but it wasn't good enough for you. And even saying that, women, especially women that have settled, can be like, who does she think she is? How can she say that? Like, how can she pass up on a good man because he wasn't good enough? What is she looking for? She's looking for Jesus. She's looking for perfection. And it's like, we are allowed to want what we want without having to defend what it is that we want. Like, and I think we are, as Christian women, are really not taught to have desires and have standards and things that we look for. Like we were talking about, like the standard is like, Okay, does he have a job? Okay, good. Is he Christian? Good. Does he pray? Yes, good. And that unfortunately is not enough. But I think it also speaks to the caliber of men that are out there, whether in the church or outside the church. Men are not called to a high standard. And one thing I've been realizing, the Bible is actually written to men, but the women take the Bible and like, oh my God, Proverbs 31, how can I be this woman? Mind you, Proverbs 31 was written to a man, for what he should look for, not for what we should become. But then Christian women are bending over backwards trying to be a Proverbs 31.
Waking up at 5 a.m.
Oh my God, drinking matcha, making sourdough bread. Like, no. Actually, men are actually the ones that are supposed to serve women. Let's actually talk about that.
Yeah. Oh,
because too many men are off the hook thinking that, well, if I propose to her, if I marry her, that should be enough. Like, you're doing me a favor. You are doing me a favor by putting a ring on my finger. You're doing me a favor when you get all the benefits of it.
Yeah.
Actually, when you're married, who benefits more?
Oh, 100% the man. Like, and don't even get me started talking about when you start popping out them babies. Like, a woman will risk her entire life, her health, to sacrifice for the family. And it's like, okay, well, I took you out on a date. I took you out on a walk. So
anyway. And the thing about when you get pregnant by a man and you actually realize that this man actually is here to be served and not to serve, I think that's when a lot of women go through crisis, because they realize that the man once they stop serving, once they stop over serving a man, they realize that a man doesn't know how to do anything. He doesn't know how to do anything for himself. So if you're down and you haven't slept and you need to sleep, and maybe you're sleeping in the evening, it's like, okay, but I don't know how to cook. Like, when are you gonna get back and ready? When are you gonna heal? Because he can't do anything, because we have been taught to serve and to serve and to serve, and a man is not taught to serve, because that's supposed to be the most selfless time for both parents. The woman is being selfless because she's had to birth a baby out of her body. Now the child is attached to the body. She can't do anything. Her body's not hers. And then the man wants to go and hang out with his friends.
That is why I think it is so important to make the right decision, even if it feels like you're, like I said, in between a rock and a hard place. You're already engaged, or you've been with a man for so long, you can't imagine your life without him. You've gotten this far. It is okay to walk away. It's that is probably the most powerful thing that I've ever done. And I would say that in my life, I've had to make a lot of really intense decisions. And that one had so much reward. It is hard to walk away from a good man, because you're so in your head, like, will I ever meet somebody like this again? Like,
will I meet someone so handsome and my type and tall, and he treated me so well? And I think that's also like when you go through an ended engagement, like, I think this is probably the hardest breakup I've ever been through. Mind you, I've only really been through 2 real ones. This is the second one. But because we were at that stage and we were so enmeshed and so connected, I would talk to him every day for almost 2 years. That type of bond, like, it doesn't just go away. So I do always like think about the good times, and I look at some of the pictures and stuff. But then when I really look into the pictures, like, they're nice pictures, but I wasn't really happy. Like, I wasn't really settled. And sometimes your mind can then start playing tricks on you, like, oh, but this and but that. But then when I really look back in it and I'm in my body, and I actually think back to how I was feeling. We probably had an argument before I took that picture, but now all we have is pretty pictures. And now your mind starts thinking that was actually a great time. But there were hard times for me mentally in that relationship. And now that I'm out of it, I feel so free. I feel myself again. I feel young again.
You are young.
Like, I know, but I feel like I've got a second chance, because part of me was thinking, okay, so I'm going to get married and that's it for me. That's it. That's going to be it. And like we were talking about before, when you get married, if the guy is just here, you are going to go here. If he's coasting, your life is going to go down, because your life is trying to go up. But then he's coasting here, you are going to go down, because you want more than what he's able to offer. And there's so many men on the planet, and we serve a good father. It's never going to be the end for us. And I've seen so many even success stories of women that they called off their engagement, they got married 6 months later, they got married a year later. We can't have a scarcity mindset, because a scarcity mindset will make us settle when we don't actually need to. And no, we're not bitter.
No, not
we
bitter
wish them
at
well.
all. Yeah.
But we have to also put ourselves first.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that we're not taught in Christianity, because if you put yourself first, you're a selfish woman.
Yeah, you're never gonna get married. You're selfish. You're gonna regret this for the rest of your lives, and you're gonna die alone. Like,
listen, everybody dies alone. Listen, everybody dies alone. Okay, we all die alone. Okay, that's okay. Yes. It's okay.
Oh, I feel grateful. I think that if this is my message to anyone who is thinking about ending an engagement, or maybe just has, like, you're not alone. When I released that my engagement was ending, I've gotten so many just different DMs of women, like, their stories. And so this is an area of life that I never thought I would be put in, but being put in it, the women are so supportive. I will say, I don't know why you would make anyone feel bad about ending an engagement if it's for the right decision. So of course we've gotten, like, really interesting comments, but like the good ones they're so comforting. And it makes me feel it just made me realize, like, my life isn't over. Like there's no violin needs to be, like, pulled out, you know, like, we don't need some sort of, outro that's, like, dramatic, you know. And, like, this was a decision that, we made with confidence, and it was to honor ourselves and to honor Christ, and like, I couldn't be more proud of us. And that's all, really.
I'm proud of you for doing what's right for you. Like I said, you were a lot further along in the planning stages, so it must have been very, very difficult to make that decision. And you also was a genuinely good guy. And that is tough. But when you don't have peace about something, do not progress. Doesn't matter what it looks like, doesn't matter the optics of it, because sometimes it feels like a failure, but it only feels like a failure once you've attached your identity to that role of being a wife. That now you feel like it's been taken away from you. I actually don't feel like I've lost anything. If anything, I've regained my womanhood. And because of what I know now, I will never make that that mistake. It wasn't a mistake, because there were actually amazing times, and I learned so much about myself, and he supported me through a lot of different seasons. So I'm grateful to that relationship. But for where I'm going, he just couldn't come. He just couldn't come. And when you're a godly woman and you've got an assignment on your life, you can't just settle for anybody. You can't just be like, oh, I'll just marry him because he's hot. Christian. Hot
will fade. Sexy will fade. But I couldn't be in more agreement with you. I tried to explain, this is where I'm going, and I want you to come along with me, and I need you to step it up to the plate. And like I keep saying, men have one of two choices: either do or don't. And if you don't, then you're going to lose access to a woman of God that, like, genuinely loves you and genuinely wants to be there.
My ex fumbled me. Oh my God.
Did you see her face? Face card is insane.
Brain. Acumen. Strength.
Wisdom,
ambition.
knowledge.
Yes. Like, you will never find another me or her. Like, period. And I know that is crazy to say, but what we would have done,
what we will do for
the right man,
ordained husband,
the one that's actually worthy.
That man is going to be blown. Like, his socks are going to be blown out for sure. Like, he's gonna be grateful. And I'm like, I do think about that. Like, if you lose access to me as a friend, as a lover, like, that's on you. That is on you, because you coulda,
woulda, shoulda.
Yes,
you coulda, woulda, shoulda.
But if you don't have the space to hold me, and I do respect, if you don't have the capacity and you let me go because you understand that, I respect it.
Yes.
But it's gonna take a certain level of man to be able to lead such intense incredible women of God.
Yes.
And so that's my prayer for this generation of men, that they understand who they are in Christ, because when they tap into that, they are completely unstoppable. And the love that they'll be able to show, the direction, the care, the nurturing that they'll be able to show their wives, their kids. That is that's what God wanted. That's what God has intended for the family unit. And so we just want to protect that. At the end of the day, we want to protect that for ourselves. And no tea, no shade to anyone, but it's important.
And we are God's investment, and He can't waste His investment at the end of the day. So
He put too much time into
too much time. The glory. We are the crown of our husband. Do you understand?
With the neck.
And
the crown, the neck.
The favor. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord.
Well, this is God's favor signing in and out for this episode. We are so grateful.
Get your t-shirt. Get your t-shirt. Single and wealthy.
God bless y'all. God bless America.
God bless them.
And God bless
you, the UK.
Before you get married, if you're thinking about getting married, make sure you spend as much quality, private time as possible getting to know the person that you plan on and intend on spending the rest of your life with. There is no rush. Ladies, don't get caught up in the ring and wanting to prove and show to all your homegirls somebody finally loves you and look at me, I got the ring. It's all a game. Filing for divorce seems to be very popular. And that's the spirit of the devil. And I'll tell you why. Most people want to do things that are popular. Do I love you more than I know you? When the tents get torn down and all of your family and friends and guests get sent home on the plane, when all of the hotel rooms get checked out, the horse and carriage goes away, all of the flowers that were dropped down the middle of the aisle by the little beautiful ring girls and boys. When the pastor takes off his robe, you're still married. There's nobody around but you and that woman. Don't get caught up in the moment. Don't get married for all the wrong reasons and motivations. Love her, but get to know her. Get to know him. Don't marry a stranger. It's very painful to paint this picture in somebody's it's very painful to paint a picture of who you think and believe this person is, and then you discover that they're nothing like what you assumed they were. It's very painful. Do I love you more than I know you? I'm leaving a Facebook video. Come on in. Do I love you more than I know you? Do I? It's painful to go down that road and figure out who your wife or your husband is on the other side of marriage. And I'm going to wrap it up with this. Most people want the ring. But it's not like the football or basketball. When you get the ring, you won the championship, the game is over. When you get married, the game just starts. You don't want to get to know the person that you marry on the other side of getting married, because that might be very painful. Might be very, very painful for you. So, having those uncomfortable conversations, requesting that you and your wife are transparent and putting it all on the table, because no woman or no man wants to be caught off guard and discover things on the other side of being married. Here's the other thing. You may love your wife or your husband as is. Nice abs, muscles, in shape, beautiful. At some point she's going to get much older. At some point you're going to get older. There's all kind of health scares, cancer, diabetes. There's all kind of natural causes that man or that woman may deal with. And it may change the way that woman or that man looks. You may be caught up in this image of what they look like now, but sometimes natural health disasters, personal matters, losing parents, losing family members, losing brothers, creates a different man and a different woman in that experience. Because a lot of times we react to situations that are traumatic, and then we end up living the rest of our life within the reaction of what took place. And most of us are not even conscious of it, but we become different people. Keep all of these things in mind. The tents, the flowers, the horse and carriage, the balloons, the skyscrapers writing your names, the beaches, the fantasy, the romance of it all. When it all withers away, it's still you and that woman. Hopefully you marry your best friend, but don't rush. Take your time. Pray. Do something that seems to be an old concept, which is actually getting to know the person that you spend the rest of your life with. I love you. This message is being sent to somebody